Hello there, it's Diorama Don here. Welcome everybody. I thought I'd revisit one of my older dioramas, the World War I trench that I made a few months ago now, and I thought I'd upgrade it a bit. I've replaced the sandbags that I had on here that weren't that great, so I've put my new design of sandbags there, and a better looking barbed wire barrier along the top here. So I've made these. If you look a bit closer, they look like logs of wood, sort of cobbled together, which is probably how they were actually made in World War I especially. And then the barbed wire all around them, so they fit on, well, they do. They fit on the top there, so I think it makes the diorama look a lot better. So the rest of the video will be how I went about making my barbed wire barriers. Okay, so we'll start off with the model maker's best friend, a barbecue stick. 1,000,001 uses. So I've cut 12 pieces off at 2 inches long. So we've got 12 of these, and then with some hot melt glue, then just cross them at the top like that, and that will stick that like that, and then 3 in a row. It's pretty obvious really. And then I've cut a piece 4 inches long that will be the cross member, if you like. So now we've got the shape that we need. If you use wall filler and just dab some wall filler over the whole lot, and then with a piece of wire wool, if you dab that on like so, it will look like a rough log, a rough piece of wood, come out like that. So we need looking pretty rough looking. By the time that's painted a brown colour or some kind of wood colour, then that will look okay. So these will sit on the top like that. I've got this one to do. They will sit there. But we need some barbed wire to go round the structure. Well, I have made barbed wire in the past. I used my chicken wire method. If you may have seen the video, if not, wouldn't hurt if I just go over it again. So this stuff, you can get it from hardware stores, DIY shops, anywhere. I'm sure will sell this. I don't know, I call it chicken wire, but there are different names for it. But basically that's it. Once you've got an open edge like this, if you twist it, it will break off exactly in line with the next piece of wire. But we don't want that. That's not what we're after. So if you use a pair of wire cutters, small wire cutters, even if you lay the wire cutters on the wire, by the time you cut it, you're still going to have a little bit sticking up, just a little bit, and that's all you need. You don't need anything longer than that for 1/35 scale barbed wire. If that's 1 millimeter, then each barb is the equivalent of 35 mm. That's a hell of a size barb. It's big. So you don't want anything bigger than that. So by the time you rest your cutters on this long piece of wire there, and just cut along there like that, you've got your wire and your barb as well. Okay, and then once you've cut that all the way along there, then turn the cutters over that way, and then do the same on the other side. like that. So you've got that. So I've got one that I made earlier, if I can find it. So you'll have a long strip of wire with the barbs on. Now the problem is the barbs are quite a distance apart, if it will focus. You all buy cheap cameras. Okay, you can just about see the wire and the barb. So you need those to be closer together. So if you fold your length of wire in half, like so, and then when you get the barbs, fold it so that they're alternate, like that. Okay, so you've got a barb there on one side, a barb in the middle on this side, a barb there that side. So you've got a lot more barbs. Okay, so fold it over like that. Then at this end, hold it with a pair of pliers, making sure that you don't, that one side doesn't slip. So you've caught both pieces of wire like that. So you've got something like that. Then you, again, using a barbecue stick, stick that in the other, if I can see it. Where it is? Here it is. Stick that at that end, making sure you're holding it very, very tight this end, and then from this end, start turning it around. Round and round and round like that. Now, it's okay at this stage, but the tension does get quite tight as you go along. So be very, very careful, because if it slips, it turns around very quickly like an aeroplane propeller, and it will probably lacerate your fingers or some part of your body. So please be careful when you do this. Okay, but if you're successful, you should end up with something like that. Okay, so that's as good a scale of 135, as good a 135 scale barbed wire as you will need. Okay, so now I've got my barbed wire. I can fix some pieces along the bottom there and the other side, and then I can well, maybe a pen like this, just hold one end and then turn that around and around that pen, or something cylindrical like that, so you've got a spiral, that's the word I'm looking for, a spiral of barbed wire, and then they will fit over the over the cross pieces of the of this thing. Oh Christ. I really should write this stuff down, but you know what I mean. So you've got pieces of barbed wire there, and then a coil of barbed wire around the whole lot. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do all that, finish making this look like wood, paint them both, and then I'll need a bit more barbed wire and coil it round. Then I can add it to my old trench diorama, which includes my new sandbags, which again I've made a new video for, and also a separate video I made for the World War I tank. But I'll carry on with these, and I'll be back in a moment and we'll see what it looks like. So I finished making my barbed wire. I made 4 pieces, and then the straight pieces either side, and then with a felt tip pen like this, just wrap it around. Pretty obvious really. Wrap that round like so, and that's pretty much this kind of diameter that you want. and then just fit it over the barriers, which I let the wall filler dry and then paint over with a grey colour, and they look pretty much like logs of wood, which is what they'd be made from, and then wind the barbed wire around it, and they look pretty realistic, I think. If I just put those at the top there, I think they just about fit on. I suppose they will now. Like that. And I've remade the sandbags this side. So if you're ever doing any kind of World War I or World War II military diorama, you're going to have barbed wire and sandbags, the two necessities of any kind of diorama making. So I've utilised my World War I trench diorama, and then you could even put him up there like that. And again, I've made a separate video on how to make this World War I tank, a separate video for the actual trench, a video I made only a couple of weeks ago on the new type of sandbags that I make, and now we've got the barbed wire barriers at the top there. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and click the notification bell if you would like to see future videos. In the meantime, I'll leave it with you. Have a go yourself. A better view around there. Let me know how you get on, and I'll see you in the next video. Put my tank back. And until then, I wish you happy modelling.